Today, on the early morning show, why women hate, attack, and cheat on the men they want to be rescued by. Let's cue the rooster and get this show started.
Every time I need that shit, devil make another.
Hey man, if you got something that you believe in and you believe that you can do it and nobody else do, just go for it. It's your life.
My life is moving fast, I gotta slow it down. Yeah, now I got it, they all come around. But when I ain't have it, they nowhere to be found. Yeah, I had to stick with the ones who stay down. And now a lot of people say I changed on them, because I'm whipping in the range on them. I don't think I'm acting different, I just found out that these folks ain't in my interest. And you ain't got a lot of kick it. I messed around and pulled a whole foe up. Banging zero, I roll up. I don't do it, boy.
Good morning and welcome to the early morning show. Today we're talking about why women hate, attack, and cheat on the men they want to be rescued by. This video for those fellas out there who are in a relationship at the beginning of a new relationship or are considering getting back into one. I want to let you know why it is that she has a hard time loving you. Now this video is the most important of all the videos I have ever done, and I'm serious about this. It's life-changing information. Now you have never heard me speak on this meaning before, so I suggest you watch it till the end, pass it on to your buddies, and give it a thumbs up for me. So, to start off, it does not matter if you are a wealthy man or a man of minimal means. It does not matter if you are a muscle-bound man or a guy who is skinny. It doesn't even matter if you are a guy society labels as a beta male or a guy who considers himself to be an alpha male. We all have been through the relationship ringer. But unfortunately, we bring it on ourselves. Most women enjoy the fantasy about being rescued by the man of their choice. And unfortunately for us, we fantasize about rescuing them back. Now, this rescue mentality leads to the most painful relationships that range from abuse of males to sex starvation of males, abandonment of males, prison for males, and divorce for men. Why? Because she has a plain and simple, as I can put it, she hates you. And why does she hate you, you might ask? Simple. Because she hates herself. If you ever see a man in a relationship to where he is not being taken care of, or his woman is taking care of herself better than him, it is because she hates herself. I know it sounds odd to think of a woman who takes care of herself as hating herself, but it's true. Any man or woman that hates themselves can only treat the people around them as extensions of themselves. Now here's where the rescue mentality comes to and cancels your Christmas plans. The whole nature of a person being rescued indicates that they are a victim. That's right. You are attracted to a victim as a rescuer, and pretty much in life, if someone is a victim, they carry some form of self-loathing for themselves. A victim has grown a psyche of living in a survival mode, which is far from a well-to-do mode or helping someone else back who seeks to help them. She is in the relationship for herself and not for you. This is simply the measure of a survivor. Now, you have homeless people in shelters that are in a survival mode as well. You have some that organizations help them out and they don't return that blessing or care. In fact, they criticize them and ask for even more. Similarly, this is what will happen when you let her in your life. Victims carry some measure of self-hatred. This is why this woman will admire you when she is dating you and not attached to you or married to you. This is chiefly her way of treating people and properties that she does not readily possess yet. But when you become hers through moving in together or getting married, you become an extension of her and something that she hates even more than she hates herself now. This is the reason why when you found her enough to rescue her, you would have noticed these particular traits. Watch out. If she had an apartment, it was dirty and unkept. If she had a car, it was in constant need of repair, and always out of gas. She called you for gas. If she had children, they were not taken care of as an extension of the way she treated herself. And finally, if she had a family, they were glad you took her off of their hands. Now, for those of you who don't believe that a woman can hate herself and make a pledge in a wedding to love you, let me show you on a micro level this theory with children. A woman will take care of her children in the manner that she appreciates herself. Now, I'm not talking about a public image of looking clean so we can be fooled that she is loving. No, I'm referring to the way your mother took care of you as a child. If your mother was a person that you considered was loving and decent mother, then I guarantee you she had a measure of love, care, and respect for herself before she could give it to you. But if your mother hated herself, then I would imagine it wouldn't be much effort to extend that hatred to you. Remember, we treat people as extensions of the way we treat ourselves. If we are faking for society, we can treat people much better. But that only works as long as they do not live in your home beyond a certain period of time. Because if they knew you for real, the real you would show itself. So it is with the woman that you are dating, engaged to, or married to, and even for a great many of you, divorced from. Yes, you would have noticed that it appeared she loved you for a short period of time after the wedding. And for some men, they believe she faked it long enough for the ring and benefits. But I say to you that once you became with her, you became something that was demotivating and someone to be hated as much as the person she looks at every day in the mirror every morning. Now, so I say to you again, avoid the rescue mentality like the COVID virus. Run the other way. If you don't, test my theory first. This woman you are rescuing, does she hate herself? Finally, would you rescue a male whose life was in the same condition and you knew he hated himself and you as well? Stick with us. We got a great show coming up today. We got a watermelon drink coming up. We got the toasted peanut butter and jelly. It's great. You got to see it. And don't forget, we're going to also have assault on manhood. It's a lot of women these days are throwing acid in the face of their own men. Can't miss it. Stick around. We'll be right back. It's 5 o'clock on a planet somewhere, and we're about to get our drink on. Welcome to the Man's Bartender. Today on the Man's Bartender, we're doing a watermelon and vodka drink. Stick around. Hello guys, and welcome to the Man's Bartender. Today we're going to do a vodka and watermelon drink. It's out of this world. Getting ready for spring, she's coming up. Stick around. Now, what I have is you can use those mason jars like I showed you before. Inside that mason jar is watermelon. That watermelon is in cubes and it has been frozen that way. So I put those two jars in the freezer. Now they're thick enough where they won't crack. So those watermelon slices are more like ice now. Okay? So that's just one part of it. We also have some watermelon here inside of that bowl. And what we're going to do is we're going to pulverize that just a little bit. Because I need to get it going. Because what's going to happen is we're going to put that inside of that mixed drink. Inside of that barrel shaker. So I'm going to use this muddler, the bartender's muddler. And we're going to pulverize that just a little bit. We won't go crazy with it because that ice will definitely do the job. Now, let's get it going. So what we want to do is we're going to take some of that Pinnacle vodka. And we're going to go ahead and put about, I'd say about 4 ounces. Because we're doing this for 2. So, 4 ounces should be good enough. What do you think? Now, already I've always showed you guys that I had this barrel shaker and that is half full of ice. You know what? These are bigger glasses. Let's go for about 8 ounces. 8 ounces, I think, should do. There we go. If they were smaller, we'd do the 4. You want this one, right? Okay. So now, then we have that. Now we're gonna cap it off with Sprite, okay? But that's gonna come last. We don't want to put the Sprite into that barrel shaker, otherwise we'd be wearing it. When you shake it up, that seltzer you'd be wearing it. Okay, so now we got the half full of ice. We've got the vodka in there, the Pinnacle vodka. We're gonna go ahead and take those watermelon slices, and we can fill them up, not to the top. Make sure you put that juice in there. Got room for more? I'm gonna put some more. Wouldn't you? Alright, let's say that's the last piece. Just for the sake of it, we'll say it's the last piece. Now always make sure your cap on the barrel shaker is secure. The cap comes off in case you want to strain it out of there when you're finished. And that cap is a good measurer, so if I didn't have that measurer, I could use that. We'll make sure that's on it nice and tight. But we won't need that strainer this time. We won't be using a strainer because some of those seeds in that watermelon may come and clog that strainer and some of that watermelon juice. So we're going to use a larger strainer. That strainer is designed to fit over that when we're done. Okay, so put that on there. Put the lid on there, and you're going to try to do that for a minute. Until your hands are tired, and you just can't do it anymore. But the main thing that you want to do is you want to go ahead and destroy that watermelon. So you want to destroy that watermelon. So we'll take that and put those out front. That's to the side. That's good. And you can do it any way you want. Remember I showed you? Up, up, behind the back, in the front, palm of your hand, whatever you like. But now those barrel shakers, like I said before, see? They do get really frozen, so your hands get really cold. All right, we're still going to say we got a few more seconds left. That's a few more, so we really put into it. Done. Okay. Woo! That's not to tire you out. All right, now, if the cap is not frozen on it, which that does happen, if that ever happens, just release that one. That's cold. Release that one. Give her a minute, and it should come right off. All right? That lets the temperature go ahead and balance. Now you take that strainer. Put that strainer right on the top. That spring on that container, that lid is designed to go right inside of that barrel shaker. See that? So she won't come off. All right? Now you take your finger. And what we want to do is we want to put an even amount in there. See the way she looks now? Okay, remember that's alcohol, so everybody's going to want an even split of that. So we don't have any complainers. People who didn't make it for themselves. They're the biggest complainer. Where's mine? I don't see none of mine. I think I was cheated. Alrighty, righty. Now, for the Sprite. Now that Sprite will give it the seltzer it needs. Now, just like when you're pouring beer, you can put a good sized head on top of that, and that'll help to keep some of that flavor in. Add a little bit of spritz to it. There you have it. Here's the health, gentlemen. Go out and do it today. Very few ingredients. You got watermelon. Those watermelon ice cubes, remember? Those actual watermelon cubes that put it in the freezer in that container that would not crack in the refrigerator. And we let that freeze. We brought that out. We muddled with the muddler some of the watermelon slices to get it going. We used the vodka. If you're doing a small glass, you can do 2 ounces, a large glass 4 ounces, and so on, you see? And when we topped it off with some Sprite, and there we have it. Here's to you. Getting funky now. Getting funky now. Stick around. We got the man's kitchen coming up. And in the man's kitchen, we have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches toasted. Now, talking about that stuff that your mom gave you when you was a little kid. This is good. So, why are you about to see your good? I'm about to drink your good. We'll be right back. Thank you. Woo-wee! I hope to see you back next time on The Man's Bartender. Join me each week, and we're going to be making some great drinks, some crazy drinks, and stuff that you can prepare for your friends at a party where it looks like you've been a bartender for a long time. Today on The Man's Kitchen, gone are the days of the regular peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Today we're doing PB&J fried in The Man's Kitchen. Come join us. Hey guys, welcome today to The Man's Kitchen. Now we're gonna do today a peanut butter and jelly toasted sandwich. Don't confuse it with Elvis' sandwich, the peanut butter and banana. Yeah, this one's good. So if you get tired of bland, boring peanut butter and jelly sandwich, this is the way to spice it up. Come on, let's do it. All right, the first thing we need to do is we need a skillet, like this one, on about a medium-high temperature. So we're gonna toast that bread after we make the sandwich. So the primary thing is making the sandwich. So while that's warming up, I'll go ahead and make the sandwiches. Of course, a good peanut butter to start with is Jif. You can get what you want, it's up to you. How many times when you was a little bitty boy did you ask your mama to make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? And some of y'all, when you're adults, you can't stand that sandwich no more. Alright, so we want to make the peanut butter go to the ends of the bread, but not any further. Because that peanut butter is actually going to melt in that sandwich. It's going to taste like one of those sandwich cracker cookies you get. That's what happens when you toast peanuts or peanut butter, it turns the peanut butter sweeter. Alright, the same way with this one. Take the peanut butter to the end of the bread. Need a little bit more here. Looks like that butter is melting pretty good. So it's sort of similar to making a grilled cheese on the oven. If you ever made grilled cheese in a pan before, it's about the same way. Alright, that's about right. It's not a Picasso, it's a peanut bowl. Alright, so we're done with that. Now with that, we're going to have some potato chips. Just a sandwich or potato chips, that's fine. Alright, now for the jelly. We're using Welch's for that one. If you want to use something different, it's up to you. It just tastes good to me, probably because I was raised with that. I have no idea. Now we don't need an awful lot. You don't need a lot of jelly on that. Jelly just is to accent it. So what we're going to do is we're going to push that also to the edges of that bread. And any extra, I can put it on top of the next bread. The more you put in there, the more you're going to wet that bread. Doesn't matter if you make a mess. That's what food's about. And if you don't make a mess, once you eat it, it'll come out the other end as a mess. Alright, so we go ahead and put that on there. Try to push that out to the ends as much as possible. Okay, there you have it. You take it, make a sandwich out of it. Same with here. Now the butter's done its thing. Pan's about where I want it. Take a little bit higher. Now when you put that in there, I'm going to go ahead and put it on one side And then we're gonna flip it immediately. That way you have some butter on both sides of that bread. Now we're about toasting it because we don't want to use all of that butter for one side. Okay. Make sure that's nice and straight. Now we can put some heat to it. I hope you guys enjoyed that last segment where we did that watermelon drink. Alright. So she's doing pretty good. Remember, whatever you thought about that commentary today, let me know. If you have chosen to rescue a woman and she did not rescue you back, let us know. When you do that, you help guys that come after you. It may be too late for you, but it's never too late for somebody else. There's a lot of little boys out there that don't know the same way you didn't know. Maybe take a peek at that on the other side. I'm sure it's not, nope, not quite ready yet. I can hear the butter sizzling though. And sometimes we go to breaks in between cooking. This won't take long enough to warn the break, so we'll just stay here. Now I could actually flip that now to get the other side going. And then we can flip it back to finish it. And if you heard me before, I always tell you that these ovens have a particular spot that's hotter than the other side. I mean, like I said, I don't know if the contractors are paid to do it that way, but it comes out that way. So you have to know what's tricky on your oven and what's not. And also, I hope you guys catch our Kilowise episode on Sunday. Oh, it's a doozy this Sunday. And also the Predator 101, which comes on Saturday. And don't forget the Vice Sting show, which comes on Wednesdays. Then we're also going to have, in the near future, a music show that's going to last about 7 hours a day. So, if you know of anybody who sings well, and they have some recorded music already, or whether you have a short video that's recorded and it's nice songs, you're not using anybody else's music, you know, it stays within something that's respectful, let us know. I soaked up some of that butter there, prevent it from burning. Okay, at this point, I can go ahead and turn that heat off because they'll finish just like that. I can actually move it off of the fire. You can see it's browned already. You go ahead and mash it down a little bit. Now, see that Mr. Presley liked that bananas and peanut butter sandwich toasted this way. One night he was late and he asked he just had a black female cook. He came and he asked her would she make something like that for him. She did, and ever since then it was famous. Okay, so the sandwiches are done. I'm just letting some of that heat permeate a little bit into the inside. It smells good. You could do it on your own, it's not a problem. All right, we'll take that one out. Take that one out. But go ahead and cut her in half. And it's more crunchy when you do it this way, as opposed to the traditional peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And you'll always see that ooze of peanut butter come out of that bread. See? Look at the ooze coming out of there. You can smell how sweet that peanut butter is. Always. Oh, that's so good. That's good. I suggest you go out and make it today. It's easy. You already have the ingredients in your house. Peanut butter in the refrigerator, jelly in the refrigerator, doesn't matter. Strawberry, butter in a pan, toast both sides, get some chips, and like me, you're out. fellas, welcome to the Assault on Manhood portion of our show. I encourage you to stick around after this because we're going to show you Killer Wives preview for episode 13. But today we're talking about a woman throws acid in her lover's face. A married woman threw acid on the face of a man she was having an affair with as she suspected him of harboring bad intentions towards her daughters in a certain part of India. Police said on Wednesday. The woman who was arrested said she was having an affair with the man, Mohit Sandhya, but he was harboring bad intentions towards her daughter. Mohit, who got bad injured and is under treatment in a particular hospital there, however, said that he had lent her 10,000 rupees to the woman. When he went to take it back after she was due, instead of giving the money back, she threw acid in his face. So in her part, it was a likely excuse. Story number 2, acid in the face. Now this is in Delhi, India. A woman throws acid on boyfriend for refusing to marry her, police said. The woman, get this, had minor injuries on her own hand, while the man had severe burn injuries on his face, neck, and chest. So in New Delhi, a Delhi woman allegedly threw acid on her boyfriend in the national capital area to exact revenge, she said, on him, as he did not want to marry her. So these days, women, they want to get married, okay? It says she was riding, and his name is Pillion, on her boyfriend's motorcycle, when she asked him to take off his helmet, as she was unable to touch him properly, she said. Moments later, she allegedly threw acid on him. Now, on June 11th of last year, the police received a call that a couple was attacked with acid. On reaching the hospital, they found the woman had minor injuries on her hand, while the man had severe burn injuries on his face, neck, and chest. For many days, it was unclear who the attacker was. The couple, excuse me, wow, I need some more of that drink. The couple said acid was thrown on them while they were on their way driving. Now, police got an important lead when the man later revealed that the woman had asked him to take off his helmet. Suspicious now, police interrogated a woman who, after several hours, confessed to the crime. It always takes a while, right? Now, the couple was in a relationship for over 3 years, but recently the boy had asked to end the relationship, and that's usually when it hurt them. The girl, though, was adamant on getting married and so hatched a plan to deface the boy. In a lot of these cases, when they use acid, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to mess you up for the next woman. Now, another story. A woman throws acid at her estranged boyfriend. So, and this is sent under judicial custody. The victim has been admitted to, it says, Agartala Hospital with critical injuries. Now, the court said that they have sent a woman under judicial custody or arrested her for allegedly attacking her estranged boyfriend with acid. Once again, 3 times, same country. The man has been shifted to a hospital in the state of capital under critical condition. The woman, her name is Benita Santal, was arrested on Tuesday and sent to 14 days judicial custody or under arrest, following a complaint lodged by the brother of the victim. Now, the attack, however, took place on October the 19th, according to police sources. Both the attacker and the victim hail from the same village. The duo was living outside the state, presumably together, since last year. Now, however, last September, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, they both returned to their own respective homes. Now, the male victim, since the return, had been avoiding Benita and even blocked her telephone number, which enraged her, said an official. Now, Benita Santal then somehow convinced Solomon Santal, his name, to meet her and came prepared with the acid. They engaged in a quarrel that further angered her, and she threw the acid at his face and left, which is what they do a lot of times. Injure you and run. Now, this is from the police. Now, the victim was moved to a Kauai hospital initially and later the other GBD hospital. Now, in October alone, at least 3 cases of acid attack have been reported by now from various parts of the country of India. On Monday, a 37-year-old mother of 3 was critically injured in the area after 2 masked men threw acid on her face and sped away. On October 13th, 3 sisters were similarly attacked while they were asleep at their home in a particular district there. I don't know what it is. This country is on an acid attack. But stick around. We're about to show you a preview of episode 13 of Killer Wives. You got to try that watermelon recipe. It's great. But episode 13, the guy was a multi-millionaire. He was in charge of a great amount of wealth for one of these large corporate firms in the stock market. They sent him over there to a foreign country to handle their business. His wife, after almost 13 years of marriage, decided she wanted to kill him. Give it a watch.
And now we bring you Killer Wives, Episode 13, Deadly Hate. These are the case facts against Nancy Kissel, who poisoned and bludgeoned her husband to death. Isn't trust a bitch? Hong Kong. Residents of notables like Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. And for the murder of Robert Kissel.
Sergeant Central. 19 Sergeant. You have a callback for 86 Central? Negative K, nothing further. Just see the cabbie on the corner.
I care less about what you think of me and more about what I think of me. Abundance coming easily, I'm tapped into that frequency. What you think of me ain't none of my business. What you think of me ain't none of my. What I spark don't get you lit, so why you give a shit? Talking out your ass, we revoke your membership. Falling off the cliff, hope you niggas get a grip. It's enough to go around if you tune into the sounds. Tap into the universal laws to get it all. You already have it in you, but you hold it and you stall. We ain't gotta die to see heaven, we can live it. If you want something, gotta be willing to give it. Not for the return, purely for the feeling. Take some time to get a line of structures that we building. Expansion we increase cause we have to. Thank God every day and your mama cause she had you. She really didn't have to, you here now. Make the best of what you see and what you hear now. Got into the driver's seat, you gotta steer now. Safe trip, picking love over fear now. I care less about what you think of me and more about what I think of me. Abundance coming easily, I'm tapped into that frequency. What you think of me ain't none of my business. What you think of me ain't